In the past, we had people who had institutional memory.
Okay.
And they would add background to a story and make it very relevant to the moment.
Yes.
But because of technology, many of these experienced journalists have been retired. Because any information that you need, you can type in a computer and it will pop up. You can even ask AI, or if you're on Twitter, you can ask Grok. Because of that, and you know, the information that has been put in most AI programs, like ChatGPT, is not 100% accurate, you find that there are high chances of errors creeping into your story compared to, let's say, 10, 15 years ago. Because that time, we had something called the backbench. These were senior editors, like 6 of them. Ken Bosida used to be one of them. These were the last guys who looked at a story before it was presented to the public. And even after they had looked at it, you had someone called a proofreader, checking whether every T is crossed, every I is dotted, whether the comma is in the right place.
Yeah.
We had systems for fact checking. Sometimes you hear readers complaining, especially for print guys, that there are too many errors in the newspapers.
Yes.
It's because many of those processes have been automated. So where you had a guy checking the spelling or proofreading, now you just put the spell checker. But the spell checker does not know, let's say, Ruto. So it will highlight in red.
Yes.
But even if you write with double T, the machine will not tell you it's a double T.
Okay.
Someone has to look at it and change it. But technology has made work easier. In the past, people used to use, for example, pictures. You'll take a picture with a film camera. You'll take the camera to the studio. The guy in the studio would close everything and shut off the lights, then put the film in chemicals with water, develop the film in 15 minutes. These days, you just take a picture with your phone and it's published on your website instantly.
Right.
Yeah.
Monsieur, as a co-founder of Evast Technology, I know you definitely interact with media, and even yourself as a consumer of mainstream media and the digital content. And I'll ask you a very controversial question, which most journalists, even my age, would really are afraid to even ask most times. Do we need a physical newsroom with humans telling stories?
I think we still do need it at this stage. Maybe in the future that could be gone. Why I think I need it is an appreciation of how the story is told.
Okay.
An example I like to give is I sometimes write for a publication on technology, and one time this year I needed to finish something I was writing for them, and I just needed the paragraph, and I asked, give all that content to an AI, and I asked, give me a summary. And it just wrote, in conclusion, and it felt very out of tune from how I would write.
Right.
And already that was like, okay, so I can't really use this tool that well for it to do it the way I do it with that flavor. And I think there is a space for, there's still a space where news can be told in a studio, in a newsroom, in a panel such as this. That space is still going to be there. In future, maybe that would change.
Do you actually see the possibility of that happening? Where, I mean, if, let's say, tonight we've had, given the viewers, these are the news headlines for the day, and they even what to expect. In the coming future, where I may not even be here as a news anchor, and I mean, we have seen other developing countries and developed countries having the same. In Asian countries, there is an AI generated of even the news anchor. Do you foresee, even for Kenya really, getting into such a level, and what's the impact of that in how an AI would even tell the story?
It's quite possible. It's quite possible that we have such a future. We obviously can't rule that out. But I look at it from a bigger perspective. Media isn't just about telling the news. It has an influence on society, and it guides and pushes things in a certain direction.